my fellow book addicts, Megan here, and time for another book review. Today, I'm going to be talking about The Lightning Thief by Riordan, and this is book 1 in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. So, despite this being like a middle grade book, I believe it's a middle grade book, possibly, maybe, yeah. Despite it being a middle grade book, I love this book. I love this book, and I love the series. I read the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series a while ago, but it's been a while since I picked it up. And since Blood of Olympus is coming out in October, there we go, October, I feel I need to reread it all to refresh my memory, and yeah, figured why not do a few book reviews while I'm at it. So I picked this book up back in high school years ago, and I loved it then, and I love it now. I think Percy is just an awesome narrator, and he's sassy. I like sassy characters, and this Percy has all the sass. He oozes sass. He lives and breathes just sass. So naturally, I like Percy, and I love how this book just opened up. Like, from the first sentence, I was hooked. Short and little synopsis. This book follows the main character, whose name is Percy Jackson, and he's a problem child. He is dyslexic, he has ADHD, I believe it is, and he hasn't been able to stay in one school for the past several years. Seems like partway through the year there's always some accident that is somehow involving him, and he ends up getting expelled. And his poor mom is just so stressed because of it. He has this horrible stepdad, and his life is a mess. So, you know, we pick up the book. He is kicked out of yet another school due to some incidents, and he finds out that there's more to him than he has ever known. Basically, he is what is known as a demigod, or a half-blood. He is half-god, half-mortal. So basically, his father is a god, an Olympian god. And yeah, all the Greek gods are alive and well. All the myths that are out there are true. And because he's a half-blood, and once he knows, is aware of the fact, monsters are instantly attracted to him. Monsters hunt down and kill half-bloods. And there is only one place that is safe for half-bloods, and that is this place called Half-Blood Hill, which is basically like a camp for half-bloods to train to be heroes of legend. You know, like Hercules and Jason and so on and so forth. So, Percy's mom is trying to frantically get Percy to this camp where he will be safe, and in the process, they are attacked by the Minotaur. Percy actually manages to take it down. His mom ends up vanishing, and he is brought into the camp, and they try to explain to him all this demigod stuff. And, you know, things go from there. And basically, from there, his already crazy life gets even more crazier. And it is amazing. I've always loved mythology, especially Greek mythology. So this book really appealed to me, and I feel I will never be too old to enjoy this book. So anything else I really say is gonna spoil more than I've already spoiled. So I'm gonna stop myself here and go into my spoilery bits. So if you do not want to be spoiled, I suggest you click away now, go read the book, because it is awesome, and what are you doing with your life? Go read it now. So yeah, go read it. So, spoiler time. So in this camp, there's a cabin for each of the Greek gods. Each cabin belongs to a certain god's children. You know, there's the Hermes cabin for all the Hermes and undetermined children, because some kids don't know who their Greek parent is. And unless the parent claims them, or sends a sign like, hey, this is my kid, they don't know, so they go into the Hermes cabin. Then there's like the Demeter cabin, the Ares cabin, and a few other cabins. I'm not going to name all of them, but there's a few that are there but don't have campers, and those are Hera, Zeus, Poseidon, and Artemis. Artemis is a maiden goddess, aka she has no kids and has no interest in having kids or being with anyone romantically or physically, so her cabin is more of an honorary thing. Same thing with Hera. She's the goddess of marriage, so she's hardly gonna go around cheating on her husband unlike her husband. So her cabin is an honorary cabin as well. And then Hades just doesn't have a cabin, because no one likes Hades, apparently. So that leaves Zeus and Poseidon. And, you know, it seems kind of odd they don't have a cabin, considering they're quite known to sleep around with mortals. Especially Zeus. God damn you, Zeus. So, the deal with that is, after World War II, the three big gods, aka Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, made an oath to never have any more kids. They will not have any more demigod children. So that is why their cabins are empty. But, you know, a few days later, Percy's claimed after this little incident while they're playing Capture the Flag, and Poseidon claims Percy as his son. Percy is the son of the sea god. So the fact that this is proof that Poseidon broke the oath, this is a huge deal. Percy should not exist. And apparently there's this creepy prophecy about one, the child of the big three. So people are all worried about Percy now, like, oh, what does this mean? What does this mean for us? But we also find out that Poseidon's not the only one who broke the oath. Before Percy, Zeus had a daughter named Talia, I think it's pronounced. And she was trying to get to Camp Half-Blood with Annabeth, whom we meet, and she eventually befriends Percy and Luke. She's giving them enough time to get over the borders to camp while she distracts these monsters that are chasing them. And in the process, she gets struck down, she is dying, and in her dying breaths, Zeus took pity on her and turned her into a pine tree. You know, instead of saving his daughter's life, he just turns her into a pine tree. Father of the Year right there. So there is crazy tension between the gods. Zeus's master lightning bolt was stolen, and things aren't looking good. He's pointing fingers at Poseidon, and just there's craziness going on. So once Poseidon claims Percy, Zeus automatically thinks, you sent your son to steal my master bolt, didn't you? So Percy has to clear his name. He gets permission to go on a quest. He sees this creepy oracle, and who gives them a prophecy, which they have to follow to find the Master Bolt. And while he's on a quest, he's allowed to take 2 companions. He takes Annabeth, who is the daughter of Athena, by the way, and Grover, who is a Cetri? I can never pronounce the Greek version of them. He is the Greek version of a faun. Grover and the rest of his people, it's their job to track down Half-Bloods and bring them down to Camp Half-Blood. And he's the one who found Talia, Luke, and Annabeth, and he kind of failed to bring them all back because Talia got turned into a pine tree, and he kind of failed to bring Percy back safely. You know, with the little run-in with the Minotaur. So the fact that he's going on this quest with them is like his last chance to get his searcher's license. He needs a searcher license to go out and find the great god Pan, because he's been missing the past few thousand years, and they need to find him. So he wants to do that. It's what everyone in his family has done before him, and he wants to do this too, even though he might not come back alive from this search. So through this quest, they run into several monsters. They go to the underworld to try and see if Hades stole the Master Bolt. And it's crazy. It is totally crazy. We found out it was neither Hades nor Poseidon who took the Master Bolt. It was in fact a demigod named Luke, who was a son of Hermes, and he's pissed off at the gods. He hates the fact that the gods pay like no attention to their kids, and he hates it. He absolutely hates it. He especially hates his own father, Hermes. So, wanting something different, he allies with Kronos, who is the king of the Titans, and he's stirring, you know, he's not dead. You can't kill an immortal Titan. The gods chopped him up to like 1,000,000 pieces and threw him into the deepest part of the underworld, and he's stirring. He hasn't taken being overthrown by his kids very nicely. So he's stirring after thousands of years, and he's making plans to overthrow the gods. and Luke is on his side. So he stole Zeus's Master Bolt to try and start a war between the gods, and oh my god, he tries to kill Percy at the end, and just, Luke, what the hell? So, I hope Percy gets some serious payback for this, like serious payback. We end the book with Percy leaving camp to try and go back to school, and he goes back with his mom, who's without the stepdad now, because she turned him into a stone statue. And so now it's just, you know, her and Percy. So yeah. And like I said, I absolutely love this book. And I can't wait to keep rereading the rest of the series, and it's gonna be awesome, and yeah! So, that is it for this book review, and I hope to see you guys next time. See ya!